Good evening, Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to tonight's Sunday Slapdash race, where the flags are never the same, and you never can predict what we're going to see. My name is Xenocat. I am joined in the booth by Harump. How are you doing tonight, Harump?
I'm doing well, thanks. And yeah, this seat tonight looked the flags on this seat tonight look very spicy. We could have
Yeah.
this could be a very quick race, perhaps, if everything lines up.
Yes, our flags for tonight, we have 4 objectives listed, but our runners will only have to complete 3 of them. As you can see on tabled screen, we don't have all of the characters. The only characters that are in this seed are Fu, Edge, Sid, Hallam, Rosa, and Rydia. But there's more. Only 2 distinct characters are allowed in this seed. So while any of those 6 characters could show up, we're only going to be able to use 2 of them.
And our runners are probably breathing a sigh of relief, seeing that Fu is the starting character, which means that there's going to be a lot more Fus out there. And I believe Vanilla Fu is on as well here, so we've got access to Nuke right away.
Yeah. Fu is vanilla in this seed, so we will be having some fun romping around the overworld with a vanilla Fu all powered up. And looking at our objectives, this could be potentially fairly jetty if we get early underground access, since 2 of our objectives are underground, and then we have music and the Giant of Babel, and our runners only need to complete 3 of the 4 objectives to win the game, without even having to do a Zeromus fight.
Yep, no Zeromus fight here, but underground could be a little trickier here because we have the safety flags turned off, so we could be hiding them behind a Valvalis, which would be very spicy, depending on where underground access and the Val happens to be located. Given that we only have the 2 characters.
Yeah, a Val could pose a big challenge to our runners, especially since this is looking like a fairly mage-heavy distribution of characters, and if we don't get an Edge or a Sid as our other character in the seed other than Fu, we might not have a good way to deal with that Val.
Should that scenario come to pass, we'll have to see. It'll be interesting to see here how our runners work around that very spinny roadblock.
Yeah, and it looks like our runners should be getting started in just a few seconds.
And we may be able to see who the second character is, depending on how randomization goes. We may see Fus everywhere.
And it looks like our runners are off. And there's our second Fu already. The Dark Imps are going to give us the hook, so that's underground access right there. No looking around the overworld. You can go straight underground and go after that Lower Babel boss if you so wish. Now, one thing that I missed when I was looking at the flags earlier is that 4th objective is a boss hunt objective, which could potentially be very rude.
Yeah, depending on how buried that boss may be. Yeah, but with 2 Fus here, you have access to to wall, access to and access to the mic to Nuke as well here. So, and potentially more Fus out there. Sure, probably won't be an issue no matter where our runners find them. But once again, we're gonna. Oh, and yeah, we're seeing on the tip side we've got a 3rd Fu already, and Commander Leanhart's going to help Hops to try to find probably that 3rd Fu. A 3rd Fu if there's one there, or our second character.
And we already have Leg here in the Baron Inn. Leg has shown his face early today, and not surprisingly, gets completely microwaved by that Nuke. And this is a kind of rude Dark Knight Cecil, although Fu should be able to tank this. Or, just kill him with Virus.
Yeah, we'll take 2 in this case, but yeah. Well, maybe, that surprised me a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah, Virus is rolling just a little low, just a little under 2,000 damage apiece, and with this spot having exactly 4,000 hit points, needs just that little bit of extra damage to finish that spot off, but gets rewarded with the Rat Tail. That will open up another key item check for free right away.
And speaking of Mage Heavy, we do see our second character here on Mount Hobbs. We have a Porum.
Well, I agree with Commander Reinhardt here. I don't think anyone is going to be keen on taking that Porum.
Looks like we're gonna go for Oops All Food tonight.
Yeah, Porum is a wonderful white mage, but when your only other character is Fu, who comes with all of the white magic and all of the black magic, she kind of doesn't stand out as a particularly useful character. Especially since you need to level her up a whole bunch before she even gets all of the spells that Fu would get. Although she does have a much better MP pool than Fu.
Yes, but given if you have enough Foos here, that won't be an issue. The damage that Fu puts out here that won't be an issue. Like, you're going to be doing enough damage here, so that probably won't be an issue.
Yeah, I don't expect, especially with the ability to rest between boss fights, or the majority of boss fights, I don't expect any of our runners to have any issues with Fu's MP unless they haven't been paying attention for several boss fights in a row.
And all right, so it looks like Leonhardt is going to the Baron Inn, checking the boss, and we'll be happy to see that third Fu. And so our runners are starting to overlap a little bit here in terms of routing.
Yep. Gambit pointing out in chat, the worst possible outcome of this seed is Asura sitting at the CPU spot with Valvalis at the element spot. I don't even want to imagine that. I'm trying to get through that fight.
I would wholeheartedly approve of seeing that here as a viewer. Our runners would probably be cursing.
Yeah,
so at the site.
That might be one reason I would consider a Porum if you can get your hands on a heroine robe and a decent bow and arrow set. Porum could do some decent physical damage, but until that heroine robe is seen, no reason to take her.
Even then, like, I'm not sure. Like, I don't anticipate our runners doing that much looting here. We've only got 50% of the chests filled up here. And if they really did need the money with Shuffle Shop to get some items here, we do have item duplication on as well. So if our runners are familiar with taking full advantage of that feature, because there are no glitches in Final Fantasy IV, they won't have to worry about money at all.
Yeah. And unfortunately, treasures are in their pro randomization, so we're not going to be seeing a lot of the high tier loot. But it should be noted that trap chests are vanilla, so you can safely loot a bunch of the higher tier areas that normally have trap chests and loot around the trap chests if you really want some high tier loot. Although with 3 Fus, looting is not a very high priority.
No, Fu pretty much comes. A vanilla Fu here pretty much comes ready to go out of the box to microwave anything that stands in front of him. And with 3 sources, yeah, I do not like our boss's chances tonight.
Indeed. Tybalt heading into the Adamant Grotto to turn in that rat tail from Baron Inn, and gets the crystal, which is a completely useless rock.
Yeah, like it's not even good as this. The key item count doesn't really matter at this even at this point either tonight, given that we're going to see a lot of hopefully a lot more foos. So leveling up isn't a concern either. There's no
Yeah,
grind to worry about.
with no cares given to experience, and even with 3 foos at this point, I wouldn't be worried about getting 10 key items, even if I was taking 2 of the other character, because with 3 foos and 2 of the other character, those 2 of the other character would get slingshotted, so they would get bonus experience until they got to about level 45. At which point, they would probably be ready. So we probably won't be seeing too much hunting for key items specifically.
Tibble's going up mount ordeals because we've got 3 boss checks we can look at here to try to find that Ashura, and run straight into Wyvern, but Wyvern isn't.
Foo is fast.
Yeah, who is fast here, and Nuke is Nuke is Nuke.
And continuing the rudeness on mount ordeals, it's CPU in the back attack spot. Although this is honestly a pretty nice place to find CPU, given that CPU should go down to 1 or 2 quakes here.
Yeah, like when you have a spell list this large, this quickly here, you have pretty much all the tools in front of you, with the exception of a few bosses, to pretty much take out anything in front of you with ease. So these are just going to be quick checks here and here. If we don't see a key item, like a useful key item or Ashura here, I could see Tibble resetting out here.
Yeah, there's not really any value from completing this check other than the potential key item reward. Although that moon veil might be worth keeping.
If you want to go through the ult gauntlet.
It looks like we're 3 for 3 on rude bosses, and Tybalt is not going to sit through the ult gauntlet for that moon veil. And I don't blame him.
Yeah, there are a few scenarios here where that move veil might come in handy here, but he's going to gamble that it's not going to be needed here, and if worse comes to worse, he knows where it is now.
Indeed. Although if he does decide he really wants that moon veil, he would have to fight through both Wyvern and CPU again, since he reset back to the bottom of Mount Ordeals, but I can't imagine he goes back to Ordeals just for that moon veil.
Yep. There's only a few bosses which could present some trouble along the way here. Something like if it ends up being like Evil Wall at Leviathan spot, for example.
That would be rude. Although there's also some potential for some nastiness here at the hook route. Although a Mylon in the Rubicon spot isn't super scary, and also we have a 4th foo joining the party.
Mylon in either flavor, whether that be Mylon and his friends or Zed. Yeah, against 4 foos, that's going to be a shorter fight than most bosses at that spot will be.
Yeah, 4 foos are going to be able to just roll right through this hook route. Although the King Queen at 1 spot is quite fast and quite punchy and might do some damage.
Depending on what we see, and we have Commander Leonhardt going to Fabul, which I don't believe has been. I don't believe Tibble has run that check, so we'll have another key item to look at here.
Yeah, I believe Tybalt went straight from Ordeals to this hook route, and Commander Leonhardt is going to show us our boss in Fabul, which is the Kaipo Guards.
again, yeah, no one's gonna be any. Yeah, this is not gonna be any trouble here, but uh, yeah, we're gonna. We're also just about to see who's in the king queen spot, and we have the elements, which is probably a good thing in terms of speed, because you're, because that's gonna go. That this fight's gonna go much faster.
Yep. Uh, Elements at King Queen F1, relatively easy fight. Would have liked to see the Kaipo guards maybe in a slightly ruder location, but
And unfortunately for Commander Leonhardt here, all he sees out of the defending the Fukul castle is a Zeus gauntlet.
yep, no value in from defending Fabul today. And Mylon has brought his friends to party in Upper Babel today.
Yeah, and those friends are going to make a quick departure in a few months once the quake goes off.
Yeah. Mylon here is going to take a few nukes to knock down, but with trying to cast Lit 1 on a level 50 fully powered Fu, not going to work out so well for you, Mylon.
Yeah, the Fu that's taken the 2 lightning hits her so hard, he thinks it tickles.
But with Commander Leonhardt having fully cleared the overworld at this point, we can now say that our progression is definitely somewhere in this underground.
Yeah, and yeah, once Tybalt here launched the Falcon here, I could see him. If we think of what you want to do, check your objectives. You'll land the airship and head straight back up.
Yep. And it looks like Mylon Z is at the top of the tower. How surprising. Mylon and Mylon Z just talking it out. And to answer question in chat, it is almost all Fus. The character flags that we have are only 2 distinct characters, and Fu is our starting character, and our other character is Porum. Although we have only seen 1 instance of Porum so far. Everyone else has been a Fu.
So yeah, the 5 Fu dream is still alive. But of course, Fu being a perfectly balanced character.
Yes. And it looks like with that, Tybalt is fully underground before the 15-minute mark. And is going right for that objective, straight up the lower tower of Babel, because Mylon Z is not a scary boss.
If Mylon could tell Mylon Z something right now, what do you think that message is?
Probably look out, there's a pack of angry Lunarians coming your way.
Yeah. I'd probably just go with run really fast. Get out of there.
Yeah. That works too.
And unfortunately, Mylon Z has not heeded our heeded my advice, and will soon find a very very microwavy fate.
Yep. Yeah, Tybalt not even bothering to use the elemental weakness, because why would you go for Fire 3 when Nuke is faster and does almost as much damage?
Yeah, like by the time you get Fire 3 off here, you pretty much have your 3 nukes. And speaking of nuke here, Commander Leonhardt decided to nuke the first form, the Mylon form of elements, and we'll soon find Mylon's previous form and his friends to quake and microwave through as well.
Ooh, and Tybalt has found the pan from this required boss of Lower Babel, meaning that he'll be able to single dip the Lul.
And that's going to be a great time saver here, assuming, and we'll see if either the Sylphs or Sheila have any of the goods tonight. Really, yeah. At this point here, Tybalt's hoping for a Darkness or a Twin Harp, or both.
Both is good. Both is very good.
All right, yeah. So Hand Really Hard will soon have his full underground access, probably in another nuke or two away.
I just realized this whole Tower of Babel is nothing but Mylons.
Yeah, we didn't even get a chance here to knock Mylon into leg redux.
Yeah, it's Mylons all the way down. Scala making the joke in chat right as I'm saying it.
Tybalt's checking, going straight down to check that the first of three freebie checks here, and I will presumably make the gauntlet check. Probably make the gauntlet check along the way as when he goes back with the Bull.
Well, that's an adamant armor.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the no adamants flag turned on, and our runners have the hook, so they can turn the pink tail in if they wish.
Yeah, I guess that's the one thing that's scarier here than a Vanilla Foo, is a Vanilla Foo with adamant armor.
Yeah, I would say that. Although I would have to say Vanilla Foo with adamant armor and a Stardust Rod? Yikes.
Yeah, I think that the four-letter word here that goes on with that is just pain. Lots of pain.
Yes. For the bosses, not for our runners.
So the three-letter word for that is joy.
And Tybalt has found the other form of adamant in the Feymarch freebie, and can now forge if he wants to, but with nothing much of value in the shops, probably not going to do that. And ooh, that is a spicy Feymarch.
Yeah, we've got a double key item check with Demist at the Leviathan spot, and Leviathan moving one seat over to the Ashura spot.
Leviathan getting much ruder with that slight shift in position. And that Demist is not going to be fun.
Yeah, even with 4 Foos here, it's going to be a slow fight because of that mist form. And yeah, Demist, any physical attack's going to hit hard at that spot.
Yeah, Demist is, I'm pretty sure, even with all the HP and good armor that these, or relatively good mage gear that these Foos have, that front row Foo will get knocked down in one punch. Even the back row Foos are taking a beating.
Yeah, and this Demist is faster, so yeah, you're not going to get a lot of nukes off in time. And
yeah, not even able to get a turn off before before she turned into mist.
And Tybalt's saying, no, I don't want to do this, and is... Thought was actually going to go back, no, but it's going to look like he's going to check out the Dwarf Castle. Do Dwarf Castle check first.
Yep. This makes complete sense with the warp glitch on. This dwarf castle, there's 2 bosses here, 2 key items potentially, and it's a relatively easy check. Plus, as Solaris has noted, having a bunch of characters that are all the exact same speed is not ideal when you're up against high-level bosses. But you know who would make a decent anchor at low levels for these foos?
A very young, very inexperienced white mage.
Yep. Porum is one of, I think, 2 characters that starts with a low enough agility to get Fu to RA1. The other being Rydia, who starts at level 1 with 4 agility.
Yeah, so we have a... you just have Form, hug the ground really hard to anchor the 4 foos. Oh, and we got 5th foo. Now, Permajoin is on. I didn't see if... did Pibble take the... Well, there goes the anchoring, possibly because that... We have Permajoin, so we can't get rid of anyone.
Yep, no more anchoring for Tybalt without a cursed ring. Although, the Quint Fu is very hard to turn down.
Yeah, now you might be able to get a bit of a speed advantage if Tybalt decides to cash in that adamant armor, because it does give it a plus 15 agility boost.
Yeah, which will be nice for one of the Fus, but you're not going to get any characters to RA1 without a cursed ring at this point.
It might be enough to swing. It might be enough to swing the Demas fight should it come to that, but Tybalt's hoping here that it doesn't come.
Yeah. Looks like Commander Leonhardt has been following in Tybalt's footsteps. His bonked Yang with the pan and is now in the Fey March, grabbed the free item, and is looking at the bosses as Tybalt gets the Twin Harp from the Warp Glitch.
So that's another key item towards those the 3 of the 4 objectives tonight, and yeah, nothing much out of the from Lucas Net here, just a Zeus Rage.
Yeah, but now being 1 key item from Go mode, it's looking more and more like that Demist is not required.
Yeah, most likely not here, unless Asura's on the moon here and there's a darkness crystal hiding behind there. But yeah, presumably here Tybalt's going to go straight to
swap airships.
Get the better airship. So he's going to do a quick check of probably going to cash in that tail maybe, and then most likely we'll check that will complete the cave banker's objective. Leonhardt is going for the Demas fight though. So Tybalt's got his adamant armor now here to protect. You have a little added protection to one of his foos, and Commander Leonhardt's going with blinks here, so he does. So this fight's going to take a little bit here, but since Demas will only attack 3 times before changing form here, she should be okay to get through the rest of it here. It's just going to take a little time.
Yeah, this is a pretty safe fight once you've got all the blinks up. It's just gonna be slow, as Commander Leonhardt casts slow on Demist so that he can get, a couple extra nukes in each round. To answer question in chat, dupe glitch is on. The reason people haven't been using it is in order to do the dupe glitch, you need something in both the right and left hands, and The only thing that Fu can really do with that is a bow and arrow, and there hasn't been a good enough... No one's bothered looting or shopping to get bows and arrows to equip on anyone, so... No one's needed money. And there just hasn't been a reason to do it. Or an easy way to do it.
Yeah, but for most competitive, for most races here that play Exhaust, it usually doesn't come into play here. Even less so here because it is so mage heavy, and yeah, there hasn't been a need for items yet at this point. Oh, and Sheila's got the goods.
That is go mode for Tybalt. Getting that Sheila 1 check. And it looks like that Pan gives us the Luca key, which just puts that Twin Harp in logic. But, oh boy. We have go mode. All Tybalt needs to do now is complete Cave Magnus and then go to the Giant of Babel and fight the bosses there, and he will win the game.
One can still hope for Asura at CPU.
One can.
Or element spot.
Leonhardt is through that demist, just gets a package as a reward. Could be valuable, considering we have no idea where Asura is.
That would be pretty fun if it was there too, but...
Yeah.
But at this point here, most likely the way the key items are laid out here, I was going to say if Commander does do the Dwarf Castle check. Yeah, so we know here where Commander Leonhardt needs to go here for at least 3 of the objectives here, but he can always still find that sneaky Asura somewhere. So it's still potentially anyone's race.
Yep, although in order to find that Asura, he'll need to make some sort of boss check that we haven't seen already from Tybalt.
That is true here. Yeah. The only thing I can... It's hard, yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it depends on where Asura is going to be here. It could be... If it's somewhere cheeky here, like a tower.
Ooh.
Maybe, but...
Yeah, that tower key does open up another boss check. Which, it could also lead Commander Leonhardt down a very long rabbit hole, which is not necessarily where he needs to go. But there could be an Asura down that rabbit hole. And it doesn't seem likely that he's going to miss out on the Darkness Crystal.
Most likely not, but it looks like Commander is...
Just picking up the Adamant. I believe he does have the pink tail.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see it look that way, but he does have it. But yeah, so he's going to probably check both tails here. Because he still has the rat tail.
I think he reset out of it when he reset out of Ordeals.
Yeah.
Or reset out of turning in the rat tail. So he already knows that the rat tail is the crystal.
And we've got a Mom Bomb at the element spot.
Well, it hits a little hard, but I mean, not the end of the world. Although actually, oh, that was probably the Adamant Fu. But
yeah, it's not a super speedy spot here. Yeah, it's just nuke after nuke after nuke. And yeah, I think that's been Mom Bomb's only attack so far here. So
yeah, Mom Bomb just punches, and I mean the punches hurt if you're not wearing an Adamant armor.
And yeah, so yeah, it's a lot of HP here, but this will get chewed through very quickly.
Yeah, with 5 Fus, each able to do roughly 15,000 damage. Even if we go through all of our nukes, we'll still have enough MP to cast to get rid of this Mom Bomb.
Commander Leonard's got his Darkness Crystal. He's now going to bring up the big wheel, and we'll see where he decides, how he decides to take us. Whether he follows Tibble up to the Giant, or perhaps tries to track down that Ashura.
Yeah, we will see. The Giant, I would say, is very attractive at this point because it is an objective, and you know that completing the Giant will satisfy one of your 3 objectives.
There's the additional boss check here as well.
Yeah.
Tibble has got through here the Mom Bomb fight without the Mom Bomb exploding. He's gonna, throw up a 10 here just to get that HP, the MP back, and we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what nastiness lies at the CPU spot.
Not healing all of the MP back, but probably most likely won't need it, since the CPU spot only has about 20,000 HP. And
it'll be enough.
The 150-ish MP that he's got on, or 100-ish MP that he's got on everyone is plenty. And we just have Yang at the CPU spot, who will punch hard, but won't last long.
Yeah, the first punch went to Adamant Armor, which barely scratched.
Well, an Adamant Armor in the back row just essentially makes the character immune to physical attacks.
Make short work of that boss. So presumably here we'll just be going straight to Magnus at this point.
Yeah, I don't expect Tybalt to make any other stops. It won't even be a character here in the Giant because we have O-Mode Giant on, which removes the character check here. So, as Commander Leonhardt enters the Giant, Tybalt is leaving and is about to probably head straight for Cave Magnus. Now, Cave Magnus could be rude, since it does have all that magic defense, although Nuke will penetrate through the magic defense of most single hit point pool bosses.
Yeah, I think potentially here the toughest boss might be Dr. Luggage, the first form.
Yeah. Dr. Luggage would honestly be a surprisingly rude fight in this spot, since the first form cannot be hit by magic at the Dark Elf location.
Wow, Fu can do a lot of things here. Swinging a staff here isn't his strongest. Isn't his strongest attack by any means.
Yeah, it would be a mild inconvenience, but I don't think it would even a Dr. Luge here would stop Tybalt in his tracks, because even with those basic lunar staffs, he can do 100 or 200 damage per bonk, and that Adamant Fu can probably bonk for a bit more than that. And with 5 bonkers, Luggage was still going to go down fairly quickly. But it looks like we have a first place finisher. Poydrak coming in first place with a time of 36 minutes and 6 seconds.
GG's to Poydrak. Yeah, we are seeing here that this is going to be a very quick race. Yeah, and yeah, Commander Leonhardt, will be still an objective way here, but still needs to find that Twin Heart. Once he gets through, the giant here. Now he's got one fewer Fu here, and one of them has taken a nap here, so that is going to be a little bit less damage here. But yeah, now that's engraved. Now over here, this should go. Yeah, it should go a little quicker for him. But
Yeah.
they're not starting to hit a lot more here, so this could be trouble.
Oof, and Adam and Fu making the cutscene skip much harder. Tybalt tried to stone the whole party, but Adam and Fu can't be stoned.
But now we are going to get a a favorite of everyone, of free enterprise fans everywhere, and that is some music. So let's see what Eddie's got.
I can't talk over FF9. It's too good. But with that music check, Tybalt gets the Baron key and is finished in second place with a time of 38 minutes and 40 seconds.
And we are seeing the Command Guard is taking a second attempt at the Mom Bomb fight, as he did take. Unfortunately, here it took a wipe here after in Mom Bomb's third form here with the when the bomb started to explode. We're going to try to get Tybalt here for an interview.
And it looks like we are now joined by Tybalt. GG's, Tybalt.
GG.
Any thoughts about how that seed went for you?
That was a fairly quick seed, to be honest. I knew when I got Twin Harp, I'm like, okay, cool, I can hope for Azura being there, and then I found Darkness, and I'm like, well, I gotta go.
Yeah,
All right, so when you
yeah, go ahead.
all right, so when you first saw the seeds here for tonight's Slapdash here, and you see Distinct 2, and then you open up the file here, and you see Fu as one of your two starting characters here. What were you thinking? What were your thoughts at that point?
I was like, awesome. Let's do this. I had originally thought the MP overflow glitch was on, so I'm like, oh, this is gonna be simple. And then I looked at like, oh, it's not. It's fine. It's fine. But no, Fu, we got this. Fu overpowers everybody.
Yeah, we definitely saw a lot of Fu wrecking bosses tonight.
Oh, and then I knew, and so I tried to take on Demas, but I didn't have great agility manipulation at that point. So I'm like, if I got to come back here later, I have an adamant that's going to be sitting at the pink tail. I can come back if necessary.
Yeah, was there any point where you considered picking up that Porum as an agility anchor?
Yes, I had thought about it at the beginning. Like, you know what, I'll leave Porum there in case I really need an agility anchor. But Fu is pretty much a decent agility anchor, especially if you can find a curse string. He's one of the perfect ones.
Yeah, Fu is amazing if you can find a curse string.
Yeah, like, were there any? I guess were there any bosses here that you're hoping not to see along the way?
Probably a Val, depending on the spot that she's in. When you have just a straight mage party, there's certain spots that Val can be in that you can't hit with magic. And if that was going to be the Twin Harp, that was going to be near impossible to beat with the full Fu party. Unless you had a melee weapon.
Yeah, and with the amount of looting that both you and Leonhardt did, it didn't seem like either of you were looking for a melee weapon at all.
Nope. Not necessary. With Vanilla Fu, you have all the spells available to you. So you're just going to nuke and virus pretty much everything early game. And then nuke in the end game. So
Yeah,
your main thing is wisdom.
Seems like a good strategy. It worked. It certainly worked out for you. What do you think about that really rude ordeals?
and like, ooh, Moonveil, cool. Oh, it's the alt gauntlet. Nope, never mind. I didn't think there for a second.
Yep. Yeah, neither of you took that Moonveil.
Because there's really only a few fights that you would need a Moonveil for to make it completely free. You know, like Evil Wall at Azura or Demist at a Leviathan spot. Those are prime spots to use a Moonveil on, since you get the constant shell on your character. So
Yeah, but fortunately, neither of those was required.
no.
Well, Tibble here, did you have any other thoughts about tonight's Turbo Jet Seed?
No, not really. That's the whole thing with Slapdash is you have to look at your flags, and it's a good way to kind of understand how the flags work, because you can't talk about them in the race room, so you have to look them up and make sure you know what you're racing, because sometimes that can be a bit of a hindrance there if you don't read the flags.
For sure.
Well, Tibble, GG's on the second place finish tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for the commentary from both of you, Harumph and Xenocat. Thanks to Scala for restreaming, and I believe it's Alchemy doing the tracking. And we couldn't do the show without you.
Yeah, thanks for letting us restream you. It's a pleasure to watch you.
Have a good one.
Good night.
Right. Yep, and yeah, it seems here for Commander Leonhardt here, compared to how Tybalt's trip to the Giant went here. He's in that fifth Fu here that Tybalt has is proving here to be, the big difference in how this fight is going.
Yeah, the lack of the adamant, or no, he does have an adamant armor, but just not having that fifth Fu to supply that extra MP pool for casting Nuke and Quake is really hurting Commander Leonhardt here.
Yeah,
but it looks like he's made it through the explosion. He's got a couple Quakes queued up. Looks like he might be getting through on this attempt.
Yeah, he might be getting through here. He's going to need to get through because he is running into MP issues here. So, with this Quake here, that should get him through now.
Yeah, I would like to say, in the meantime, while Commander Leonhardt has been getting through this rude Mom Bomb at Elements, we have a third place finisher. A Stone Dingley has finished in third place with a time of 44 minutes and 44 seconds. And a fourth place finisher, Gibraltar, has finished with a time of 45 minutes and 17 seconds. And just as I say that, Bad Karma finishes in fifth place with a time of 46 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah. Right. So we have Commander Leonhardt is definitely going to take a rest and a save here, just so you don't have to go through that fight again here, and we'll be happy to see a much easier boss in front of him at the spot.
The karate fight is not a particularly difficult fight at the CPU spot, since the punches are fairly rude at CPU, as CPU has a pretty high attack power, but the kicks are not going to do a ton of damage, and since it's split among the 4 foos, and with just 3 to 4 nukes, karate should be going down.
Yeah, and yeah, karate will. It's not going to get enough attacks in quick enough here to even have it be an issue at all. So our commander's going to check off that second objective, the second of the 3 objectives he needs to complete, and we'll see, how he plans to attack here. Whether he tries to go on a key item hunt here to try to find that twin harp, or whether he goes on a boss hunt to try to find a Sura.
And as Commander Leonhardt is finished up that karate fight and is now leaving the giant, Jeebus has finished the race in 6th place with a time of 48 minutes and 21 seconds. So GG's to Jeebus.
All right. So Commander's not sure where he's. All right, it looks like he's gonna grab an airship here, and then we'll see here where he goes.
Looks like he's heading back underground. This is good news for him, unless going to check that tower key.
Yeah, he's got a few leads he can potentially go down here. With that tower key here, I could see him going. I could see someone making this checker because it is a quicker check here. It's an easier boss.
It's an easy boss. He made that gamble to fight that Demist for the tower key. I can totally see him rushing to check the chain behind that gamble.
And while Commander Leonhardt is going up here, we have a 7th place finisher, Microquarks, finishing up in 49 minutes and 13 seconds. GG's to Microquarks.
Sadly, it's just Odin at the Super Cannon room, but we will see what the key item reward from this check is.
Yeah, we'll go through. We'll have to go through a few. I know a cutscene or 2 here to get to that point, but yeah, it might be another. It could potentially be another rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah, the good news is the Baron key was in Cave Magnus, so Commander Leonhardt at least won't be diving that rabbit hole. But this could, for example, lead to the Earth Crystal, and with the only spot on the moon being that could have any sort of progression being Cave Bahamut, the odds of finding a key item here are pretty high.
Yep, and there are a few other niche checks, he could look at as well here. There's still the package boss check, which you don't want to do unless you're feeling super lucky or under a lot of pressure to try to get through to see. We're taking a bit of an inspired guess here, and it still might pay off, but I don't see that check taking place.
Yep, and well, there's a Stardust Rod. That's a wonderful item for that foo. That Adamant Armored Stardust Rod foo is going to be a force to be reckoned with on Commander Leonhardt's team, but no progression there.
Yeah, I think this is Fugo Burr, but that foo might have an extra R at the end.
Yeah, I think that Foo has like an extra 3 Rs at the end, probably. Given that his wisdom is now 30 points higher than all of the other Foos. Well, no, 25. The Sorcerer Robe does give 5 wisdom.
So Commander is on the right path as long as he remembers here that the warp glitch is on.
Yes, forgetting that warp glitch would be truly unfortunate. Although he does have the Luca key to make that check. If he does forget the warp glitch.
Yes. Yeah, but yeah, this. Yeah. Well, we're gonna find out quite soon here because Paladin, I don't is the fourth cast bosses are not going to be long for this world here. Yeah, maybe a bit unlucky that he took 2 nukes.
Nah, I mean, yeah, that first nuke was just a little bit low for defeating. Although I don't think that Fu would have been able to defeat Paladin with 1 nuke without that Stardust Rod and the Adamant Armor on. So a little unfortunate there. Kanazo will not stand up to a nuke.
And Commander Leader does get his 5th Fu. So yeah, the Moth army is in full force.
Yep, no love for Porum tonight.
And Commander will definitely have. Well, definitely see the Zeus Rage. I'm hoping he remembers the warp glitch is on though.
Looks like he did remember the warp glitch. And there's his twin harp. Commander Leonhardt is now in go mode. All he needs to do is, yeah, not even going to check the Dwarf Castle item, leaving that Zeus Rage behind. Is going to beeline straight for that twin harp check.
And I'm seeing a chatter. Tybalt here actually did take a check to see, if had worse come to worse, and the commander here did forget the warp glitch. Had he decided to go down to the Luca cave, Tybalt's teasing us. Who was it, Tybalt? Who was at the Luke spot? I'm guessing.
Oh no, it was Golbez. We are getting word that it was Golbez at the sealed cave. Which would be rude, but with the Adamant Armor, you can guarantee that the Adamant Fu will survive through the opening Shadow Dragon Devour stage, and then with the Star Veils from the starting kit, you should be able to at least keep 1 Fu up through that fight, and that spot has, I think, pretty good magic, so it's going to be relatively easy to kill.
Still might be faster to actually go through the Dwarf Castle again.
Yeah, that boss is a long one.
Alright, Commander Leonhardt is about here to finish up the seed here, and we're going to have a reprise of music. So
right after the trying to lose the fight as quickly as possible, and is Commander Leonhardt trying to fight the Dark Elf?
Yeah, maybe a bit of an Easter egg.
Okay, has decided not to fight the invincible Dark Elf. You cannot kill the Dark Elf in this form when you have the twin harp but have not used it yet.
And you're trying to get the party fast enough here to to take down the harp before he started casting spells here. Doesn't quite get it off in time, but this third virus should do the job.
Okay. Just real quick before we hear the music, we have an 8th place finisher. Lady SSJ Xenogears has finished in 8th place with a time of 55 minutes and 15 seconds. So GG's to them.
Right, and we'll sit back and relax and enjoy a brief reprise because this fight is not going to be long. And with that brief fight with after one nuke here, Commander Leonhardt has finished the race here at a time of 59 minutes and 2 seconds. GG's.
Yeah, GG's to Commander Leonhardt for sticking it out and finishing in under an hour.
What we're seeing here, Commander, is up for an interview. Yep. Yeah, it looks like here the Commander Leonhardt's going to give us a check here of another thing here. Another person we like to talk to in a lot of in the free enterprise flags, and that is Job Dwarf, to see what he's up to today.
Yep. With neither of our runners doing any shopping, there's not much reason to go to Chomra, where Job Dwarf resides, so not surprising that neither of them ended up talking to him during the race, but looks like we will be getting to see what Job Dwarf's job is. Job Dwarf is a hospital administrator tonight.
And we have Commander Leonhardt here, GG's commander on the race.
Thank you.
Any general thoughts about the seed?
Well, I mean, if you know Slapdash, you know we've only got a little bit of time to look over flags and see what jumps out at us. And Distinct 2 was the very first thing that came across my radar, along with the large number of characters that definitely weren't around. Of course, I stopped worrying about that when I saw the vanilla foo we were starting with.
And presumably here the vanilla foods that came after that, and after that, and after that.
Sorry, didn't catch that.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, yeah, you probably enjoyed seeing the foods come after that, after him and after him and the next one.
Yeah, I believe in this entire seed we only saw one character who was not Foo, and that was the Porum on Mount Hobbs.
Yeah, I went there pretty quickly too because I wanted to know who the second character was. And that way it's like, is this just going to be an all Fu party? Or is the other character going to be, say, I don't know, Edge or someone where I might think about taking a second one? Not so much. Not this time.
Yeah, I think the only thing that Forum would be really useful for in this seed is being an anchor to get those foos to RA1.
Yeah, that would have been about it. I'm sitting there in my mind thinking, coming up with a convoluted required Val, Artie Bow, heroin robe, and decided that that was just far too unlikely.
Yeah, we did looking at the flags. Val could have gated our underground access if it hadn't been given to us right away and the hook bosses had not been relatively free, but it seemed very unlikely from the get-go that Forum would be added to anyone's party except as an anchor.
Yeah, makes sense. Curious, did Tybalt find Asura, or did he do the same 3 objectives I did?
Tybalt did the same 3 objectives you did.
Nice. That mom bomb, I swear. That 5th Fu from anywhere would have been very helpful. It's just not quite enough MP.
The main difference was Tybalt did Dwarf Castle before heading up to check Sheila, and so had the 5th Fu going into the Giant, while you had understandably gone for your freebies and then gone for your objectives. So I can't fault any of your decisions. It's just that 5th Fu from Dwarf Castle ended up helping Tybalt out a lot.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm sitting about the second time through where I'm like, wow, the Fu would be handy. Or even just some ethers from a shop. Come on.
Given that, were there any thoughts here in terms of getting any, finding like another item here and there just to try to perhaps get through that roadblock just in case you did have an issue here where, where MP here would be an issue?
No, it didn't really cross my mind until I wiped the first time to Mom Bomb, and I was out of MP for the Quakes, and went, well, that would be handy. I mean, I had vanilla foos. I knew that we were 3 out of 4, so it was very much go, 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 go for me from the beginning. There wasn't any real thought of slowing down to shop or loot, and it didn't quite work out.
Yeah. Would you like to know where Asura was?
Yeah, sure.
She was in the Baron basement. Locked behind that Baron key, which was locked behind that twin harp.
Nice. So, and given that the Darkness Crystal itself was through Sheila, Pan, and Lower Babel, the objectives were paired. And I don't think anyone's gonna do the... Oh no, Twin Harp was also underground too, so...
Yeah.
Unless you felt like top of tower for some bizarre reason. I can't see that.
It seemed unlikely that anyone would dive that far into Baron Castle to look for a boss.
Would have been a heck of a trip. But...
Oh, Sora for us.
Well, any final thoughts on the sea before we let you go?
Slapdash, a lot of fun. Then interesting. Like, I saw the Duns coming in, and I'm like, Asura is gonna be on Giant. Asura is gonna be a Giant. And like my cursor's literally hovering over it as I get through to what turned out to be karate, and I'm like, well, I guess not. That's how it is sometimes. A lot of fun, as always. Thank you, Xenacat and Harumph, for providing the commentary. I'm looking forward to going back and listening to it. Thank you, as always, to the wonderful Scala for stepping in and restreaming. And Alchemy, thank you for lighting up the buttons. And everyone, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you, Commander Leonhardt, for volunteering to restream here, and GG's. And to those watching here, if you want to give your give it give it a shot and try out the fun that is the Final Fantasy IV free enterprise randomizer. There's a link to the Discord in the chat here. Feel free here to join the community. We've got tons of resources for the beginning player. You don't even need to be familiar here with the original Final Fantasy IV to get into get a feel for that here. It's a lot.
I certainly was not familiar with Final Fantasy IV when I started playing this randomizer, and it's been so much fun.
Yes. All right. So we are going to be wrapping up the stream tonight here. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow at 8 p.m. here for our Monday community race. And we are going to be rating Possum Morpheus here, who's running some practice here for the next Enterprise Legacy race, which will be this Saturday.
Yeah. So let's all head over, give some love to Possum Morpheus, and we'll hope to see you tomorrow night.
On behalf of the Restream team here, Alchemy on tracking here, Skull Kelly on the Restream, and my colleague Zealcat, I am Harumph here. Have a great night.